Welcome back everyone. In this video we are going to focus on descriptive writing against the critical writing, the difference between these two writing methods. We'll go and see. Okay, as you can see, I have separated descriptive writing into main three sections: explanations, presentations and summarizing. So when you cover these things, it comes under descriptive writing. For example, explanation. What are the explanations actually? Explanations are very simple. This is about you're explaining concepts, theories, frameworks, or maybe even you're defining. Let's say now your assignment key elements are digital transformation. So you're defining your digitalization with theoretical information. That is also comes under descriptive writing and you're explaining. So let's say you have a theory called ABC and you're explaining that theory with citations and all that. So this explanations are comes under descriptive writing. So most of the descriptive writing comes under explanations because you're explaining these theories. Maybe you're explaining about the company, even under the application that goes as explanation. That is also part of descriptive writing. And then you have presentation. Presentation as in you are presenting data, presentation of data. For example, you are reporting findings. Your findings, you have to report your findings. Maybe this could be even factual information, or maybe some numbers. So you are presenting those data. So when you present those data, that is also comes under descriptive writing. So it is also part of your descriptive writing context. And at last we have summarizing. Summarizing of information, basically you're outlining your research. You're summarizing your information, all the discussions that you had during when you were doing your assignment. So you are like summarizing and outlining. So when you do that, that is also comes under descriptive writing. So basically you're repeating things, you're explaining, you're presenting your data or like your findings, and also you're summarizing information, maybe outlining your research, maybe you're summarizing your key context or maybe key themes. So all these sections comes under descriptive writing. So this part anyway, in any assignment you need to cover descriptive writing area. So here these are the examples of descriptive writing. See, when you explain, that is come under descriptive writing. If you present some data, that is also part of descriptive writing. And also if you summarize something, that is also comes under descriptive writing. Okay, now we have critical writing part. So just like the descriptive writing part, I have broken this down into three sections: analysis, evaluation and synthesis. What is analysis? Here you're breaking down your complex ideas. For example, theoretical information. So you're breaking down those theoretical information into simple things. You're explaining those things. You're breaking down your complex ideas basically. You're simplifying things. So that is also your analysis. So analysis comes under critical writing. Or maybe you're bringing counter arguments. Counter arguments as in, if ABC says this is what is motivation and XYZ says no, that is not your motivation. Motivation is something different to what ABC said. So that is also counter argument. That is also part of analysis. You are analyzing your motivation in different angle. So when you write like that, it is also you are analyzing things. When you analyze things, it is part of your critical writing. Okay, and then you have the evaluation. Evaluation as in you are judging things. Maybe you are judging strength, weaknesses of maybe theoretical information or maybe from your chosen company. So you are judging their weaknesses, weaknesses and strengths, or maybe risks. You're evaluating risks, consequences. You're judging. You're looking at those things and you're evaluating things, strengths, weaknesses, risks, consequences, what are the controls. So you're evaluating your theoretical information as well as your application about your company. So when you do that, that is also part of your critical writing. Remember, we have not discussed all these things in descriptive writing. So this is somewhat different. So remember, analysis, evaluation, and now you have the synthesis part. Under synthesis, you are basically combining different perspective. Combining perspective. So maybe for someone this could be a circle. Let's say this is 6. If someone says this 6, another one can say this is 9 from different angle. So from this angle it's 9, from this angle it's 6. So but the same thing, right? So things like that, you are combining multiple perspective. Or you can say, okay, ABC third factor equals to XYZ definition. So there's a similarity between these two theories. In ABC theories, third factor has a similarity with this XYZ theory. So likewise, you are combining perspective. Yeah, it is kind of analysis that you are doing, but somewhat different. Slightly it differs. So synthesis about you're combining key perspective, key themes. You are analyzing and combining those. When you combine those things, it is part of your synthesis. And synthesis is part of your critical writing. So now we have discussed analysis, evaluation, and synthesis. So when you do something like this in your assignment, so it is comes under critical writing part. So you have to write when you write and cover these areas. So that is also part of your critical writing. So remember to analyze things, break down your complex idea into simple things, and you can bring counter arguments. Evaluation, you judge strength and weaknesses and you justify them, and you touch on the risk consequences. That is also your evaluation. And combining multiple perspective on the same thing, maybe it is also synthesis. This is advanced way of summarizing things. In normal summarizing, it comes under a descriptive writing. In when you synthesize it, it is also part of critical writing. So those are the differences between critical writing and descriptive writing. So remember these three key things. Okay, now I have made this table for you so you can understand in a better way. So the differences between descriptive and critical in a summarized way, the summarized manner. So this is the aspect in the first column. As you can see, this is the aspect, and this is descriptive writing, and this is critical writing. So under aspect, the first one is the purpose. Under descriptive, to convey factual information, as I have explained. So you are explaining things. You are explaining factual information. Under critical, you are evaluating, analyzing, and arguing things. So here under purpose, that's the purpose of critical writing. And what are the questions that you have to answer in descriptive writing? What is happening? Who, where, when? Very simple. Who, where, when, and what is happening. Okay. And under critical, why is it significant? Why it is important? How does it relate? The combinations, the linkage, and you are judging strength and weaknesses, like I said before. So here under critical writing, these are the questions that you need to answer under critical writing. Make sure you have to do both of these sections, not just critical writing or not just descriptive writing. You have to do both parallelly. So examples, definitions, explanation, descriptions. Right? I told you when you explain a theory, so that is also maybe using definitions. So that is also comes under descriptive writing. And then under critical writing, you have to evaluate, and here I have written evaluation of how effectively a theory explained. So you are breaking down those complex ideas like I explained, and you're comparing theories. Also identifying gaps. What are the weaknesses in this theory or that application that you have applied using your chosen company? And tone, it's very neutral. and objective, more focus. You are focusing on something that is already there. And here, under critical writing, it is more into analytical and persuasive tone that you have. So make sure you have those two areas. Okay. So now this is about that table I have summarized. So I'm going to tell you another method to when you cover critical writing. There's another method called 5Cs. You'll go and see that method as well. Okay, this is the last part of our video. Now, if you want to write critical writing, this is another method that you can follow. This is very easier. Always focus on these areas. This is called 5Cs method. As you can see, there are 5Cs, 5 words: cite, compare, contrast, critic, and connect. So under cite, you need to have accurate referencing. So that is one of your 5Cs method, the very first C. The second one, compare. You need to identify your agreements. What are the similarities? So that is your comparison part under the second C. Third C about contrast. You need to discuss the differences. You need to identify the differences. What are the disagreements? So that is your contrasting part. And then you need to critically evaluate. Evaluation of argument findings. You are evaluating, just like I explained before. You are evaluating things. You are critically writing. And the last part is connect. You are relating your literature to your study as well as your application. So very simple method. Always remember 5Cs: cite, compare, contrast, critic, and connect. This is for critical writing only. This is not descriptive writing. So when you want to focus, if you want to remember things, when you cover your critical writing context in your assignment, make sure you are following this 5Cs method. This is for easy understanding. So this is called 5Cs method. And also to simplify this descriptive writing and critical writing very in the easiest way, I have broken down this into two columns. Under descriptive writing, it is about what, who, when, and where. So when you write any information, it focuses on what, who, when, and where. Whereas in critical writing, it will more focus on why and how. So these are the simple things. So the differences between the descriptive writing and critical writing is basically this. So here, descriptive writing, you're focusing on what, who, when, and where, whereas in critical writing, you're focusing on why and how. So that those are the simple differences between these two concepts, or the critical writing and descriptive writing. I hope that you have an idea about these two writing methods, the differences. So if you have any questions, you can comment. In the next video, we are going to talk about the referencing and citations. If you have any concern on that, you can always play that video and you get an idea about that as well.